Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Rio. This is Coloring Passports, and today we're doing the Rough-Toothed Dolphin. I'm kind of excited about this illustration because I've got two different subjects here, one here, a couple of different styles to kind of meld together. So I'm going to try to be very graphic illustration-y here and very loose and deliberate with my brush strokes here, and then a little more blendy over here. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I just love the way this guy is gonna look with all the water reflecting off of his body, and this is just them on the go. So, and the view from above, I've yet to do one with a view from above, and so we're just gonna see how it works. So let's get into it. So I really have two different reference photos here. This one has more grays, this one has more of the brown red grays. This one's more blue green grays. So we'll see how it goes. So, and this is my first illustration of the day. I've been working on other things, so it's gonna take me a minute to kind of get oriented here. I really feel like I wanna paint the water first. And by paint the water, I mean get the gouache moving, because I'm loving gouache. I'm loving the experience of getting to paint with gouache. I love that I can just re-wet it, that it stays good forever. I'm loving mixing it with the watercolors and the colored pencils. It has just been so much fun that I'm super happy with the what's happening with it. So, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Coloring Passports. I'm Rio, and today we are doing the Rough-Toothed Dolphin. I'm super excited about this one because these guys are really cool looking. I had no idea they even existed until I started doing the research, and I am loving this. So this is the first page that I designed like this. I was just desperate to design the coloring pages differently throughout the book, so it wasn't just one body of a dolphin that you could just do whatever in the background with. So that being said, I want to play in the gouache paint with the waters here, because I think I've drawn them well enough that I can separate out all the colors, and it might be fun. So let's give it a try. So I've squeezed out the cerulean and some viridian and some sky blue and some ultramarine and all of that stuff, and I'm just feeling like I'm gonna give it a whirl here. All right, y'all, let's get back into this here. So I'm gonna grab some of the white. I'm working with the, oh, you can't see it. I'm working with the gouache. I'm loving this whole gouache experience here. So I'm feeling like this is gonna be needs more water. Oh, I'm out of water on this. That's not good. Let me grab another paintbrush here. This reservoir's got water in it, so let's fill this one up here. That's not a lot. This one has more. Let's put more water in this. I'm going to squeeze this and then release the pressure.
Can you just switch the brushes?
No, they're different. Well, maybe they aren't different. It's okay. I got it. That one's emptied. This one's ready to re-engage. These guys screw on the opposite of what they should. Oh, here we go. That's much nicer. Look at that! Okay. Let's get in here and get this one painted. I just really want to play in the gouache. I'm super excited about this. And do this one, this color. A little bit of the Meridian green. Oh, that's the wrong color. Dang. That was black. That is not what I want. I gotta clean my brush for that. Dang. Okay, let's see if this works. That's got the black in it. I don't like that at all. It's very opaque. Shoot. That's a little better. I don't like it. Oh, that's not the color I want. I think I can paint over that though. What color is this? It's pale green. Let's see what that color does with the blue. Let me clean my brush off again. Get all the titanium out of it. Because this has all the feels of being very transparent. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. This is almost like paint by number. I have really, you guys, you know, if you've been following along at all, you know that I have a very hard time coloring in the lines. It's nearly impossible for me to color inside the lines. I just struggle with that. The struggle is so real with that. That's a little dark. I'm not a fan of that. It's too dark. Should have had some white in it. It's okay though. It's okay. It's okay. Let's come up here and let's put it in this. Right up to the dolphin there, right around that squigs. Just kind of come in here. I'm a hot mess with all of this already. Gonna come in here with this one. Gonna do this. I had grand plans for this to be a little cooler than what it's actually turned out to be. So I'm a little disappointed, but I think I can work through this. Not terrible. And I think if I go around and I outline those with the outline that with the sorry y'all, with the white paint pen, I think it'll be all right. I think it'll look good then. We'll see what happens. Okay, there's that. Let's grab some more white. See, I can't even color inside the lines that I drew, so y'all don't have to color inside the lines. It's just impossible to stick with that. It's a little dark. Although I don't mind it 100%. I don't 100% mind it. And again, once you start adding all the white to everything to go higher value, you know, you get that whole chalky thing, and some of it looks okay and some of it is just gross. I don't have a small enough paintbrush to really work that the way I want to. Okay, so there's your water. Start it out as your water. Oh, well, it doesn't look terrible on screen. I, however, am going to modify it a little bit because I'm just going to outline it so that it's more pop arty. I like the whole pop art thing. I'm kind of thoroughly enjoying playing in all of this, if I'm being honest here. So... okay, so there's the painting portion of that for right now. I'm gonna put the lid back on this so it doesn't dry out. Gonna move the paint over. Now let's get into a little bit of this dolphin here, shall we? Dark brown. Totally a color we haven't used yet on the dolphin, I don't think. But, I'm gonna say that we're dark right in here as well. here. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. And then we're gonna come down here with some light umber. These guys are a little different colors. Now I'm gonna throw some of this in here, but I am gonna come back in with the grays because they are that gray. Right now he's looking kind of like these colors are out of whack, but I think we'll be able to pull it off. No worries. I'm gonna put some more of that under there. Now that's gonna go a little bit peachier. It's also gonna have the blue in there reflecting off of him. This is gonna have a lot of blue reflecting. It's also gonna have that teal color in there reflecting. It was way darker than it should be. So I gotta grab one of these grays here. There we go. Lower the intensity of that just a touch. So I'm feeling like the water's coming together. I definitely want to outline the water with the paint pens to kind of see what that's going to look like. I'm just gonna see if it's feasible, if it's gonna look good or if it's not gonna look good. I don't 100% know. So I'm trying to outline every little speck of different color just to see what it looks like. It's kind of fun. Okay. Again, this is just pushing more boundaries. How's that look? Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like that better than the flat here for sure. You can see a difference. All right, so let's get up in here and finish doing that. And I probably could have done that with my colored pencil, but my colored pencil, my whites are getting so low, I'm gonna literally have to reorder some of these, which is okay. It's kind of exciting to use an art supply so much that I literally have to reorder it because I've used it all, not because I'm just like, oh, I just want to buy new art supplies. And I'm all in for having any excuse for buying art supplies. I'm all in. There's something oily on that surface right there. It's not sticking. It's okay. Now I'm gonna come around here and I'm gonna just outline this. I'm not doing a very great job. But I'm trying to cover up that black line. And then maybe I'll come over it with the blacks. I don't know. My goal with these as we get into them is always to try to loosen up my backgrounds as much as possible. I've never afforded myself the luxury of doing that, so that's what the goal always is with this. Okay, so let's get into this gray, shall we? So this illustration is literally a combination of a realistic photograph and 2 graphic illustrations that I've worked from. So it's going to be a cool page when it's finished because you're going to be able to see the difference. Flat illustration versus the non-flat illustration. Now, cool gray, that's French gray, it belongs over here. This is a cool gray, that's the warm gray, espresso. I didn't get all my colors put back where they actually belong, so I gotta take a couple minutes and do that. I also kind of wanna see what happens when I use the metallic for the highlighty area on this bottom one, just to see. Warm gray, which one is this? That's the cool gray. Warm gray, warm, French gray. Okay, so here we are. Okay. So I'm going to take the 10% cool gray, and this is the bottom dolphin. I'm going to come in here and I am just going to very quickly color all of this. I have 69 minutes left on this SD card, and we are getting this done in that time frame. I'm very loosely scribbling all of this. Coloring the whole thing with a layer of this gray. Because I need something to start mixing with here. This guy's closer to the surface, so he's gonna have more of the warm gray colors because the warm grays have the reds and the yellows, the cool grays have the blues and the greens and the purples. And so they lend themselves to being further away. That's how that works. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna set this down because I am gonna come back to this. I'm curious as to what will happen when I pick up the silver. And I've never even used this silver. It's fresh out of the box. You can tell by the sharpened point. See, it's a super short sharp. And when you start sharpening them with the with the generals, there's more wood showing. It elongates that out. Anyway, so let's get into this here. So this is gonna be a little bit darker here. I'm gonna come to this, and then right here below the blowhole, the back part of the blowhole. This is the first time I've illustrated the top side of a dolphin as well. So this is interesting to me. So then I know that this is here, and this is gonna be super dark. This like pectoral fin and then shadowy ridge. It's gonna be hard to tell that apart. I'm gonna come in here with the silver, and I'm just gonna make all of this darker because all of this is gonna be darker. Now I'm not even coloring in the correct direction of this yet, but I will in just a second. So right now I'm just coloring very aggressively here. Just to get some of this color laid in. That's all I'm trying to do, is lay in this color. Now, in here, this is gonna be darker. This is already super buttery smooth because I laid down that layer of the 10% cool gray over everything. Super fun. Gonna come in here, lay some of that down right there. Oh yeah, that's working for me. Okay, so now we're gonna go to 30% cool gray, and the 30% cool gray is gonna be over here on this side of his body. We're gonna start building up the color, building up the colors. Definitely darker right there. Definitely darker on the side of his face. Definitely darker right here where we're giving the illusion that his eyes are there. Definitely darker right here. Definitely darker right here on this line again. I'm gonna go over all of that. We're gonna come in with some, there's a little bit of warm on that side too. I can see it. I'm gonna come back here on his tail and add some. Okay, there's that. Now we're gonna skip to the 70% gray because this whole area is super dark. So let's start laying it in there like we mean it. Okay, so he's really, really darker here, according to the illustration we're mimicking. I'm not 100% certain that this is exactly how he would look from the top side, y'all. But according to the illustration that we are mimicking, this is what's going on. It's gonna get a little bit lighter as it comes down here to the top of his rostrum. But the top of his rostrum is still colored. Nothing on him is white, really. We've got some darker area here. We're just gonna keep blending, more glazing. We're just glazing and glazing and glazing. All we can do is glaze. That. This is darker, this is much darker. This is significantly darker back here. I have 63 minutes left to finish this illustration. This is all. Get all the color laid in, and then we're gonna seal it down. So there's that. There's the 50%. Oh yeah, 50% is definitely back here. I'm gonna do something cool in the background anyway. Well, at least I think I am. I don't know if it's actually gonna be cool or, you know, if I just think it is and then it turns out to be crap. I don't know. I am grabbing some of that 50% warm gray, which has more reds and oranges in it. And I'm coming along here. Just a touch. I see these colors just a little bit in here. I don't want him to be flat, is the thing. I just don't want him to be flat. So I'm trying to keep with the color scheme that he really is. I don't know. I'm putting that one back. Coming back in with my 90%. Right here where the fin is. This is the shadow. This is a line. This is back in here. This is obviously going to be a little bit darker on his tail. And this is the part where, again, you're not coloring everything. You're just kind of laying some of this shadow in there. So I know for a fact that this is really, really outrageously dark here. I know it is. And then I also know that this is also outrageously dark. So I can come in here and start really laying down some color. And I'm just gonna kind of blend it out as it comes up because I want the muscular shapes to not get lost in this. dark here. This needs to be darker still. Darker still here. You know the drill. We're gonna pick a cool gray 50%, and we're gonna come right over all of this and color super hard and start blending all of this in. I'm gonna come back here on his pectoral or his tail. I'll lay some of that in. Now I'm gonna grab the 20% cool gray, and I'm gonna come on this side, and I'm gonna lock it down over here with this color. And I'm just gonna let all of it blend together. There we go. Look at that. Not too shabby. So now he's dimensional. Y'all, I thought the camera was on. You've only missed one step, and you're gonna get to see the rest of it here. I've taken the 10% French gray, and I'm coloring right over the top of this entire top dolphin because he's more beigey looking than the bottom one. He's closer to the surface. He's got more sunlight on him. Sunlight typically lends itself, depending on what time of day it is and the angle and all those things and where it's at, it lends itself to have more of a yellow feel to it. So we're gonna get in here with all of that. I want this to feel fun. I want to do some fun pop art patterns in the background of this. I don't want it to be stuffy. So I'm going to take my 10% warm gray and start coming in here on his belly and underneath his rostrum and on his neck. There's a little bit of highlight here. There's a little highlight around his eye, apparently. There's a little bit of a highlight back here. Now I'm going to 20% warm gray. I'm going to start bringing in some of those shadowy colors. Going to color in the direction of all the bits of his tail. That kind of does a little whatever, and then this kind of starts to do this. Making C's, making him more bulbous. That's kind of the whole, that's the secret to getting it done, the way that he actually looks. And again, I'm working from an illustration, a scientific illustration. This one might not even be a great one. I didn't care about that. What I cared about was that this was the first time we've done an illustration of the top part of the dolphin and the side of the dolphin like this in such a scientific illustration mode. Usually I'm just using photographs as references so that I can color it as realistically as possible. And all that's fine and dandy, but sometimes you need to learn how to do this other stuff. And I needed to learn how to manage to loosen up a little bit more. So I'm only allowing myself so much time to get this one done. And then it's time to get on down the road with another one. So I literally only have so much time left on this entire SD card. I have 55 minutes left. We got plenty of time. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna color his tail. This is the underside of his tail. Obviously it's going to be darker. So got a little bit more of a shadow right there under his eye. He's looking kind of silly still. Looking kind of silly still. Okay, putting this one down. So I've used the 10%, I've used the 20%. I'm gonna hit the 50%. Probably gonna need to sharpen this at some point. So I'm gonna come in here right on the pectoral fin and start putting in that 50% warm gray. Again, it's just a little bit darker. Pushing just a little bit harder. So I've already made one pass at it. I've got the variation, and I've got a lot of that variation because of the colors I put down first. That, for me, that makes it a lot easier. Definitely want to come in here and start putting down some dark in this tail. Getting that variation there as well. Definitely want to come in here and start putting in some variation in this dorsal fin here. I'm getting closer. Okay, that was the 50% cool gray. Now let's switch to the 70% here. And let's start laying down some more color. Ooh, that's a definite jump. So it's definitely here on the edge darker. And again, I'm coloring pretty roughly. I'm on the 70% warm here scale. He's gonna be darker right here. He's obviously gonna be darker underneath here. He's gonna be darker, but gradually coming up to less color here. He's darker, really, really, really darker in here. He's also really darker right in here. This dorsal fin's got a lot of darker color in it. And then, of course, he is a lot darker here on the side, and I'm just coloring in the opposite direction of what I did before, and then I'm going to come back over and just make some more lines here. And again, I am pushing myself to get this done quickly. So if you need to slow down, you can slow down. There's no right or wrong. I'm just pushing myself to get faster at these. I'm pushing myself to not overthink them and to get these done a lot quicker. I also want some of that back here on this guy's tail. Oh, look at that. Yep. I also feel like I want some of that color on him, just a touch. Right in here, right in here. There we go. Look at that. I'm so sorry. I keep moving the thing. Chase isn't here to holler at me. Okay, so 90% warm gray. Let's get into the thick of this here. That line that I drew definitely is a dark edge on this dolphin, okay? And his pectoral fin out here, definitely darker than what it is in here. And see how I'm just kind of lightening up. So I'm adding one more color. I'm just barely going over everything, but because I've already added so many different hues to this already, it looks like I've spent a ton of time being photorealistic with all the variations. And right now, he is still a hot mess. But as soon as I start to blend him out, then add a little bit of some lighter hues on top, I think he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna look really pretty. So I know that there's another like muscular shape here, ridge, if you will. This is like a lesson in monochromatic, really it is. And I can tell you that there are some, he's got spots on his back here. He's got little spotties. Definitely have a shadow here from the blowhole. We've got some shadow here on this part of his face. This part of his rostrum definitely has shadow. A little bit lighter here, but a little bit darker here. Or a little bit darker here. And this needs to come up a little bit higher here. Definitely a little bit higher. And then back here, whew, we're gonna just smoke some of this with the darkness, because he is definitely darker back here. You see that I'm literally scribbling, but it's okay. So these are the warm colors. I'm gonna set them down right here. Now, I have to decide. I think I wanna do the peach beige over the top. So let's see if this is what color it is. Right in there, peach beige. Right back here on this section, peach beige. Peach beige right there. Yep. I'm gonna put this down and I'm gonna grab 30% French gray. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna push all of this color into each other with that 30% French gray. And that's just gonna start to meld all of this together really nicely. These guys are a little bit darker than the other species of dolphins. They're more in the browns and sepia tones. Okay, how is that looking? Not terrible. Let's get back into the 90% here. So I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna add some more color to his dorsal fin. Darker here. I'm gonna come right over the top. Make sure we've got a good shadow on this rostrum here. A really good prominent shadow on the rostrum. I'm gonna put a little bit of a shadow underneath his smile line here just because I know for a fact that that's gonna be there. I'm gonna give him some more shadows here. A little bit more shadow here around his eye. He's gonna have a little bit more shadow here where his pectoral fin touches. He's got some spots and things in here. But he is super dark in here and I've just gotta get that laid in. Never quite get that dark enough. So on this particular one, we're gonna try to darken all this up just a touch. Okay, so now we're gonna do the one thing that I never do, which is grab the black and start laying in some more shadow here. So I'm gonna put black on his pectoral fins. Definitely gonna put black on his dorsal fin. Definitely gonna put some black back here on his tail, his fluke. Gonna darken this up back here with the black. And it's cool too because it's blending in with some of those other colors. So it's killing a little bit of that yellow color that I'm not 100% a fan of. See how loosely I'm doing this still? And that's okay. I'm gonna put the black down. Gonna grab the 10% cool gray. And I'm just gonna blend all of this together again. There's that highlight there. There's a highlight there. there's definitely a ginormous highlight right here. He's got a little bit of that highlight down onto his rostrum. This is definitely a highlight area. This is kind of a highlighted area here. Okay. Okay, so you know that I like to add some like little marks on them, like maybe the water is, you know, coming down and reflecting off of them a little bit. So I just literally, I'm drawing across some of this with the white, and I'm drawing pretty hard. I'm pushing fairly hard here. I'm also going to put some of the spots on him that I know are there. I'm going to add a little light here on the top of his melon, and I'm going to come in here and give this guy a little bit of light. Not spending a whole lot of time doing this because this is just a graphic illustration. So, I'm gonna come in here and darken up his eye just a touch. I'm gonna just barely add some of this here. A little bit darker right in here as well. Just coming over the top of that with that 90% cool gray. And I know we've used the warm gray on the most of it, but this shadow, when you start to add some different colors in the shadows, it just starts to look better. And then there's so much going on, you can literally just blend this out with your finger. But you want to be careful that you don't make mud everywhere, blending it out with your fingers. And if you do, it's not a big deal, because why? This is for practice. This is just practice. We're not going to get all excited about it being perfect, because it is literally just to practice. I'm thankful for the space to practice. I'm also thankful for the practice, because it is genuinely improving my skills. I really wasn't gonna be a believer of that. That a sketchbook or a journal could make you a better illustrator. But I am here to tell you, I am living for this journal experience. I love flipping through this and seeing all the different illustrations completed. It's very satisfying. It's oddly satisfying, in fact. So, anyway, gonna come in here with some of the silver and see if the silver is reflective. If not, you know, whatever. I can also come in here with some watercolor paint to make this really cool. All right. So I think that's all we're gonna do to those guys. I have 36 minutes left to color this one and the background. I'm getting a little nervy here. Okay, so I have 36 minutes left. I'm gonna take the Prussian blue and the Viridian green out of my Arteza gouache, and I'm gonna mix them together, and I'm gonna fill in the background solid-ish. Okay, let's go. I'm not putting very much fluid in this at all because I want it to cover super solid if at all possible. I'm going to do everything I can to get right up against the dolphins here and color super dark. Gonna go through a lot of Prussian blue, I can tell you that right now, because I'm putting it on thick. I'm laying it on thick. And then as I'm coming out, I'm letting it kind of spread. I'm still resisting the urge to squeeze water into it to get it to move a little easier. Outline this dolphin just like so. So I'm gonna do this off camera. I'll be right back. Okay. Literally, there was no reason for you to watch me do that. I just colored the background. Now I gotta let this dry a little bit, finish this guy, and then maybe play with some of the glittery paint that I've made. Okay, we've got 35 minutes to finish strong here. I'm gonna come in with the espresso, and I'm just gonna start laying in some color all the way around this sweet baby here. He's got some really distinct shapes on for his body structure. They're really interesting looking. He's reading a little darker. So I'm gonna come in with the 10% French, 20% French gray. And I'm gonna start, oh yeah, that works. Pushing down here, kind of blending all this together. That's a little darker right there. So I'm gonna come in with the burnt umber right up here because it's a little darker, and we're a little darker right here as well. See, that umber has some reddish purple in it. So it goes nicely with what's already happening here. We're gonna leave some of that a little bit lighter. We're gonna get up in here. We're gonna make this a little bit darker. Come in right here. We're gonna darken that up just a touch. We're gonna come up here and darken a little area right there up just a touch. This area around his eye. We're definitely going to darken all of this up here. This area underneath his smile, the sweet baby smile. Definitely going to darken up some of this area in here as well. And that's a little bit lighter. And I don't know, I might be rushing through this and not doing the greatest of jobs, but I want to get this done. Okay. And I'm pushing myself to do this faster. I'm pushing myself to not lollygag with the process, which is a hard thing to learn. I'm telling you, it's not easy. So I'm gonna grab that. Actually, I'm gonna grab 20% warm gray. Oh, there we are. Yep, look at that. That is exactly what I was going for. And then we're gonna lighten some of that up further. go right over the top of him here. That's a reflection right there. And you notice I'm coloring fairly hard, blending all of it in. And it's not all right yet, but it will be. It will be here shortly. Okay, now let's put that down. Let's grab some of the white. We're gonna come in here, right here, and let's see, that does that. This comes down right here and does a little bit of a reflection light. Here's some reflective light right here on him that's in the whites. This is a light line, that's a light line. This is definitely much higher value than the rest of him has been. Over here, we have the same situation where it's gonna squiggle down here, and we're gonna just kind of make this all reflect. This is some water that's reflecting off of him. This is coming down over his pectoral fin. For sure, this is super, super lighter right in here. This is super lit up right here. You see I'm just, and this is also super lit up right here. And then this right here is even more so lit up. How's it looking? Oh, he's looking pretty cute. And I sort of just want to outline him because I've outlined the water itself. So I sort of want to pop art outline him in the white here and give it a little bit more love than normal. And then I want to pick up some of the, I'm gonna pick up the black. I know, crazy, right? I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna just darken some of this up with the black. Just a touch. Just a little bit. Not a megaton, just a little bit. Gonna come back in and do some shading on all of this as well, or some highlight work. Gonna come in and add some of the French gray to this side right here of his body. Oh yeah, that's working. There we go. There we go. Okay, then we're gonna come back in with some of that lighter and just come back over it and add some of the reflections. Probably not my greatest work, but it's not terrible. Okay, what do we think? What do we think here? I think this one's been challenging because it's a combination of different styles that maybe don't necessarily lend themselves to working well together. He almost feels like it almost feels like they're swimming in space. And I just want to fill this in with some lines. And I really kind of feel like I want to come in with Yep. I'm gonna ink this guy without inking him. I don't know where my inks are right now. So I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna outline some of his stuff with the black. Just so that, you know, that's cool. Okay, so there we have it. I think I'm gonna call it good. I'm gonna put a little bit more white right here. And unfortunately that blue is really strong, so it's just gonna show up way more than anything else. I'm gonna sign my name. Love Rio. It's a very blunt signature. All right, y'all. I think that's it for the Rough-Toothed Dolphin. We've learned some things. He looks like he's in the water. See, like this highlight right here, I feel like if I came in and added some more like little ripplies right here, that it would look like that. Oh, look at that. See? Oh, that might not be terrible. I know I've already signed it and I'm breaking my own rule about continuing to color after I've signed it. But that is kind of fun right there. Okay, so I added the glitter paint. I have some things to work out with it. It's still not very good. That's what this is for, practice. All right, that's it. So this has been the Rough-Toothed Dolphin. I'm Rio. Thanks for joining me in the studio. I'll catch you on the next page.